People's Democratic Party (PDP) conducts House of Assembly in 19 out of 26 state constituencies in Akwa Ibom. State government said to behead bottlenecks associated with license processing. Dominic Wituga Avenue closes to traffic from Tuesday next week. Details of these and other stories in just a moment. Good morning and welcome to AKBC 45 News. I am Jeffrey Orok. The People's Democratic Party yesterday conducted primaries to elect candidates who will fly the party's flag in the 2015 House of Assembly election. The primaries are taking place in Akwa Ibom and the 35 other states of the Federation and in the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja. During the exercise in Akwa Ibom State, the precinct of the State PDP Secretariat at Long Avenue in Uyoshu sit with party members who will obtain materials for the conduct of primaries in the 31 local government areas. Access to the location of the Secretariat at the time was blocked to vehicular traffic as police vehicles were used to barricade the Idarapan Avenue, a strategic point. The state chapter of the People's Democratic Party, Obong Polipo, the state chapter chairman of the People's Democratic Party, Obong Polipo, while speaking to journalists and party faithful, said the party had to relocate the venue for the House of Assembly primary election in 19 state constituencies to neutral grounds for security reasons.
A lot of complaints from even the aspirants in those local government alleging that there are a lot of security threats from them until when the security sector and the commissioner of police called for a meeting, and then the party was briefed on those areas of threat.
Obong Polipo, in company of committee members from the National Secretariat of the party, distributed the election materials to the returners and also explained contents of the packages to them.
You have the statutory, the ad hoc delegate inside. You have the statutory delegate inside. You have the ballot paper and then the result sheet inside. So you read out this and identify them, and then they go in and vote, and you bring the result back safely.
The primary election for the affected state constituencies took place at Uyo Township Stadium, Mopol 26, Iduro, and Mopol 57, Ukana. Uyo Township Stadium hosted Nsiribo, Urofong Uruko, Mbu, Ikorabasi, Eastern Ubolo, Orwanam, Urumuko, Uyo, Urwan, and Itu state constituencies. Mopol 26, Iduro hosted 4 constituencies of Mpareni, Abak, Okobo, and Nsirugim, while Ika, Etmeko, Ikono, Ini, Oborakari, Korepene, Esereke, Libuno, and Ukanafun had their primaries at Mopo 57, Ukana. The state government is to collaborate with relevant agencies to ease the bottlenecks associated with license processing in the state. The Commissioner for Finance, Mr. Kanokun, gave when a team from the Federal Road Safety Corps, FRSC, led by the Assistant Mr. Nsabong Akpabi, called on him in his office. The Commissioner, who acknowledged the importance of licensing as a key mechanism for revenue generation of the state, said that concrete steps would be taken to reposition the node in the licensing centers. He stated that government will work out modalities to strengthen the capacity of FRSC and other partners by creating additional biometric centers as well as provide necessary equipment to make the centers more efficient and responsive to public needs, while assuring the FRSC boards of the needed support to enable him operate smoothly in the state. Mr. Kanokun also initiated a tripartite meeting between his team from Internal Revenue Service, the Commissioner of Transport and FRSC to further deliberate on how to make the licensing system more vibrant. The Assistant Corps Marshal, Mr. Nsebon Okpabio, who said he would to carry out on-the-spot assessment of the zone satisfaction at the level of commitment to personnel at each of the offices. He have lamented the technical and logistic constraints militating against prompt issuance of driver's licenses and plate numbers to match the influx of demands. Mr. Pabio solicited the assistance of the state government through the provision of enabling environment to enable them function effectively. Dominic Utuk Avenue, you will be closed to traffic from Tuesday, 2nd to Thursday, 4th, December 2019. A statement from the Office of the Commissioner for Works explains that the closure is to enable engineers address some technicalities on the route. Motorists flying Dominic Utuk and Wangeba Road should use Equobot and Town Street or other routes, as no vehicle will be allowed to ply the road for the 3 days the exercise will last. The statement regrets any inconveniences the exercise may cause the traveling public. As part by the federal government to reduce unemployment among graduates, the Graduates Internship Scheme, GI, the short program of the federal government, has conducted a job fair to select 500 graduates to benefit from its internship program. The story in Australia.
The job fair is organized by the Federal Ministry of Finance to encourage young graduates who wish to engage themselves meaningfully, thereby contributing to the growth of the nation's economy. This was the position of the Director of the Graduate Internship Scheme for 1 year by the federal government.
More news after the break. Stay tuned.
My challenge to the Akwa Ibom youth today is to rise up and protect the uncommon transformation. Rise up and protect the uncommon transformation. There must be sustainability. So for me as a governor, I'm charging Akwa Ibom children. The future belongs to you. Your fathers have done their bit. Rise up and protect your future. Bring a governor that will bring industrialization. Bring a governor that will bring progress. Bring a governor that will bring development. Not the one that goes on ethnic cleavage. Not the one that goes to bring tribalism. Not the one that gangs up with elders and wants to come through the window. I want to use this opportunity to congratulate our dear President, Dr. Goodluck Ebele Jonathan, for the endorsement given to him by the National Executive Committee of our party as the sole candidate in 2015 presidential election. I want to thank the people of Nigeria for recognizing that leadership comes from God, and God gives it to whom He pleases. So I stand with my dear President so that he will succeed for my children to have Nigeria tomorrow. I thank Nigeria for supporting Dr. Goodluck Ebele Jonathan.
It's so lovely to be back. Plans have been concluded about the state government and her partners to embark on the distribution of long-lasting insecticidal net replacement campaigns in the state. This was made public during a media interaction in the UN officials of the Society for Family Health Implementers for the program and members of the state support team of the National Malaria Elimination Program took time to explain aspects of the campaign, which will hold between 18th to 22nd December. Odwarekong tells us more.
For 5 days in December, 18th to 22nd precisely, more than 2.7 million long-lasting insecticidal nets will be distributed, with each household expected to receive a maximum of 4 nets. The nets about to be distributed are to replace those distributed in 2010, which have expired by now, since the chemical properties of the net usually last for 3 years. The distribution process, according to officials of the relevant agencies, will be preceded by mobilization and registration processes at the state and local government areas from the 4th of December. Declaring the media interaction open, the Commissioner for Health, Dr. Mema Basibasi, described malaria as a major scourge in Nigeria that needs to be kept at bay, hence the need to protect Akwa Ibom people from contracting the disease through the use of long-lasting insecticidal nets. Represented by the Akwa Ibom State Project Manager on Malaria, Dr. John Orok, Dr. Bassi expressed dismay at the result of the household survey, which indicated that only 43% out of those who received the net in 2010 used them for their personal use, while others used the net to protect their farms and animals.
We need you as a thoroughfare to be able to reach the teeming mass of Akwa Ibom State. And we need them to understand what we are doing this time around. You've already heard, we have a long-lasting insecticidal net replacement campaign. So we really need this message to be taken along. Mine is to solicit that support that they've given us in the past, and to request that you, as far as you can reach, get this message to our teeming populace, so that we can truly have a malaria-free Akwa Ibom State.
Others who spoke noted that 97% of the total population is estimated to be at risk of contracting malaria, urging the media to help sensitize the public on the benefits of the soon-to-be distributed long-lasting insecticidal nets.
We also have LGA supervisory team, that is the structure that coordinates the campaign implementation at the local government level.
So we want you to help us, place demand for us, so that people would cultivate that habit of sleeping inside insecticidal nets. You'll be told the importance, I'm sure you all know.
We want also the media to know the benefits of consistently and correctly. Consistency is about practices and behaviors. This will go a long way to helping us to achieve our objectives. Ownership, collective capacity of the community. We want the community to begin to appreciate that it is their right to own this commodity. It has been paid for, and if it has been paid for, then they should utilize this commodity. They should begin to use it and use it for the right purposes.
Questions ranging from cost of the net outside those provided free by the state government, how to avert diversion of the net, and follow-up procedures to ensure correct usage of the net were raised by the journalist. Udwa Keko reporting.
The state will flag up the distribution of exercise books to public secondary schools in the state on Monday, December 1, 2014. The ceremony will be performed by Governor Gospel Pabio at the Civil Service Auditorium, Idawasinkan Secretariat, by 10 o'clock in the morning. A statement from the Commissioner for Education, Professor Atimantai, has invited the Deputy Governor, Lady Valerie Bear, the Secretary to the State Government, Mr. Nkerugume Kano, the Head of State, Mrs. Cecilia Odoisi, and members of the State Council, Chairman House Committee on Education, State House of Assembly, permanent secretaries, and members of education management boards. Also invited are senior special assistant on education monitoring, directors of education, directors of education, principals of public schools, and the general public. And in collaboration with the nation's football team, the Super Eagles, has joined the fight against malaria. During the last Super Eagles football encounter with South Africa, launched its mosquito net campaign and distribution of the newly inaugurated Akwa Ibom Stadium complex. The encounter. During the campaign, the proper use of mosquito net was demonstrated by Super Eagles players as some of them went inside the net to encourage children, pregnant women, and others to always inside the mosquito net. A representative of the Commissioner for Health, Dr. Imeudo, described the exercise as a positive development, as government had all putting their resources in the fight against malaria. Dr. Do, who is the immunization officer in the state, saluted the efforts of the global fight against malaria and pledged the state government's readiness to partner with the in its activities.
For Global Dream to pick up malaria and want to fight against malaria, I think it's a very positive move that we have seen, and we really applaud and encourage them to continue doing that. The state will partner with them.
The national president of Global Dream, Mrs. Naomi Ajoge, said that is faced by her organization, the group will continue to join the fight against malaria and other preventable diseases. Mrs. Ajoge and other organizations and individuals to support government in rendering social services to the society.
Coordinated. Well, we know there's quite a bit of difficulties, but yet the most important thing has been achieved.
Super Eagles players, supporters and some spectators benefited from the mosquito net distribution. 12 retired staff of the Marketing Directorate of Akwa Ibom Broadcasting Corporation AKBC have been sent off. The event took place at the Northern Global Hall, Uyo. Livingstone Daniel filed a report here presented.
The retirees were Mr. Ernest Ibanga, Sir Ime Inyang, Chief Vitalis Ukpe, Obong Akwa, Mrs. Emetakbo, Elder Ime Udofia, Pastor Emediong Enobong, Elder Asukwa Essien, and Pastor Ezekiel Ekbo. Others were Mrs. Esther Ekere, Mrs. Alice Edet, who were non-marketing staff but worked in the Marketing Directorate throughout their service years. The last was the late Mr. Ime Otu, represented by his widow, Mrs. Ime Otu. Architect Ezekiel Yaituk, who chaired the occasion, commended the leadership of the Marketing Directorate for officially organizing the send-off party for its former staff, saying that the gesture will go a long way to motivate those still in service. Architect Yaituk thanked the retirees for their services to the state and wished them well in their future endeavors.
It is a privilege for you to put in either 30 years of service or to get to the age of 60 years and you retire. Some people die in their first year, second year, third year, 10th year. I'm sure you've had colleagues that passed on, but God kept you alive and you completed your years of service and you retired.
The Director of Marketing AKBC, Elder Etop Akpanya, said the party was aimed at celebrating hard work, excellence, and paid tribute to the retirees for their contributions towards the development of the Directorate and AKBC in general.
I want to thank God for all the people who have come out to honor our invitation. It's a homecoming. It's a reunion of people who love themselves. One thing I know is that the Marketing Directorate is a family. That was how I came to say it under Mr. Estiba. We lived as a family. We cared for one another.
Earlier in our exhortation, Pastor Karis Esenabong noted that for God to have given them opportunity to work and retire successfully, the need for celebration and thanksgiving to God was essential. Taking his text from the book of Habakkuk chapter 2 verse 4, the clergyman admonished them to live lives of praises and faith.
So for God to give somebody the privilege and opportunity to go through whether 35 years of service or 60 years of age or just voluntary retirement is something that somebody should be thankful to God.
Gifts were presented to the retirees, while the widow of late Mr. Imel too went home with cash to assist in the children's education. Responding on behalf of other retirees, the former Director of Marketing, Mr. Semetakpo, and former Director of Production, Elder Imel Dofia, thanked the leadership of the Directorate for the honor done them and reiterated their commitment to continue to offer ideas to the corporation and the Directorate.
And that you have recognized that sacrifice on a serious note this time, I really appreciate you. And thank you. Whoever brought up this vision, I say that good surprises will never lack in my life. In Jesus' name.
It is a day to remember. What my eyes have seen now, I was thinking that we were forgotten. I did not know that we are still part and parcel of you. We thank God for this moment.
They were later treated to a buffet while other guests took to the dance floor.
Congratulations to the retirees. The Apostolic Church Akpakpan Assembly in Uyo Districts Friday played host to the Superintendent of the Church, Apostle A.M. Ipe, his Deputy Apostle Ime George, and other pastors across the Uyo field. The official dedication of the church building, situated at number 22 Akpakpan Street, Uyo. Patience John reports that the faithful were in a high spirit to receive the clergy and to thank God for giving them the grace to construct the building.
The joy of the worshippers knew no bound as they gathered round the edifice to witness its dedication to God. The members who were dressed in blue t-shirts dotted with white also wore white face caps to depict the colors of the church. The edifice, decorated with fine stones and marbles, was dedicated by Apostle I.N. George, watched by the Uyo Area Superintendent, Pastor M.T. Obot, the Uyo District Pastor, Pastor B.E. Usanga, and other visiting pastors. The Assembly Secretary, Elder Victor Odo, set the ball rolling through the historical background of the Akpakpan Assembly situated on Akpakpan Street, Uyo. He recounted the contributions of various clergymen who had served in Uyo area, either as area superintendent or district pastor. Elder Odo said the church started in a private residence in 2001 as a Ekpenyong Assembly and later relocated to Akpakpan Street. He explained that the spiritual and material blessings received from God by members spurred them to erect a befitting house of God.
But today, the church have more faithful and committed members who are holding tenaciously to the tenets and fundamental doctrine of the Apostolic Church.
Apostle Ime George, in his message, appreciated the efforts of the members and other individuals for erecting the building to God, but advised them against haughtiness, lest God's presence would depart from them. The clergyman also prayed for more blessings on the people as they continue to walk in the fear of God. Various choirs, including Uyo, Enwelen, Akpakpan Women Choir, and the Sunday School Choir, added their voices to thank God for His love on them. Some worshippers, including Pastor Basi Usanga, And Elder Nyangno Etuk said, completing the Akpakpan Assembly is a dream come true.
I believe in the near future, the glory of God will ever be greater.
Expectation in the nearest future is the God's will must be done in this place.
So excited, we feel so fulfilled, we feel so happy.
Akpakpan Assembly is one of the assemblies that make up the Uyo district of the Apostolic Church.
From the Apostolic Church, Akpakpan Assembly, Uyo district, St. John reporting.
That's the news. You can also watch AKBC TV News online by logging on to akbc.org or follow us on Twitter at AKBC45UU or on Facebook at AKBC Channel 45. And now the news, the main point again. People's Democratic Party held House of Assembly primaries in 19 out of 26 state constituencies in Akwa Ibom. State government concludes plans to ease borders with license processing. Dominic Avenue in Uyo closes to traffic from Tuesday next week. This week. That's it on the news. Thanks for watching. I'm Jeffrey Oro.